Good evening, free enterprise community. Thanks for joining us for this match in the round of 64 for the Highway to Zemus Zone number 4. We have an exciting race for you tonight between DekarSMASH and LUF game number 1. Our restream today team, we've got Reckless Charlie doing tracking, lighting up all those icons for us. This may be on restream, the reason we can actually see anything. I'm on Klopper here in the virtual commentary booth, joined by Bad Karma. Excited for our race tonight?
Always. These have been some great races. If you've been following throughout all the qualifiers, if you've been seeing the 1v1s, this round of 64 started yesterday. We've already had some great ones. And look at this, we've got a Rosa start. So our runners are not going to be hurting for a white mage to get going here.
Definitely really nice to just kind of have that white mage available. It can definitely be a little hectic trying to find that sometimes in the middle of the sea, not quite knowing how you might get through Zemus without one. So definitely going to be a load off shoulders. Our two runners here are both doing very well. We have DekarSMASH here at seed number 3, going off against LUF, seed number 60. Both very good runners. Just hard to get into the top 64 of this tournament, so I'm confident in just on that front. I think we'll see some really good play out of both of them.
Yeah, and look at these objectives too. We've got a boss hunt looking for the King and Queen Evelyn, as well as a Masamune altar. So 2 moon objectives for our runners, 2 boss hunts with Wyvern and King Queen. And then as always, we've got a Forge, have Coco Forge. This is going to be really interesting to finally, quite possibly not have a Haunted Moon.
Definitely. Can be really nice actually to kind of see those extra altars show up in your objectives here and the bonus to objectives, because that does mean that Darkness Crystal gets you 2 known objectives. These boss hunts can be really nice. Sometimes you're lucky, they just fall into your lap as you're walking through. Sometimes though, they are hiding in some of those really mean spots, the places you don't want to check. Giant number 2, package, hook route when you don't need to do it. So it really depends on how quickly we can find either Wyvern or the King Devil to finish off our 4 out of 5 objectives.
Yeah, and as we're getting underway, I know one of our qualifiers did have a Wyvern at the Ruby spot. That wasn't a hook route, so.
All right, joined here by Kane, and speaking of that Darkness Crystal getting us our objective, there it is. All right, so that definitely opens up some extra locations to visit. If anything, another character check. Although Kane, as our partner here, is not too bad. He definitely has availability of a lot of different weapons to put on, which can be kind of nice if you're looting. You'll probably find something for him to wear, and can do decent through right to the end game, although definitely not the strongest melee fighter.
Yeah, Kane takes a little bit to get going, but a lot of his good weaponry is in the tier 6 realm, which we can find really easily, especially if you go and pull like Castle Evelyn chest, defense sword is really common to find there. So it'll be really interesting to see how our runners tackle looting to find some stuff, as both of them look to be raising that lunar whale.
Immediately raise that. I have to imagine they're both interested in just finding out who that third character is waiting for them, and maybe even a peek into cave value here to know which boss they have waiting for them to take on. As well as there's a handful of bosses that are free. Maybe that King and Queen Evelyn would just be hanging out in cave value. Just get that done right now, 2 objectives done, and a boatload of experience to start the game with.
Yeah, we've seen that happen a number of times where the cave value also had the boss value, where it was a double required. So our runners have definitely been keeping an eye out for that. It's getting early darkness, go check it out, see what you've got to prepare for.
I think you're definitely right to call out the early looting routes. Will be interesting to see from these 2 runners, because again, depending on who that third character is, they might be looking to actually need some equipment to get through any of these bosses, even in the early game spots. So where will they go looking for that?
Yeah, I've been a fan of the Castle Evelyn myself. I've been pulling a number of items out of there. It is really dependent though on who you've got, what you're looking for. If I've got an Edward, maybe not so much do Castle Evelyn, because I'm looking for a dancing dagger.
Yeah, exactly. I think that's really kind of shows heads-up play by different players, knowing where to go for routing depending on who their character selection is. LUF actually looking around and getting some shopping done. There definitely is some good gear that can be bought, although the item shop's not as valuable as they used to be since we can't get those JA. So
Yeah, no J items has been really difficult to adjust to. Your allotment of star veils, not being able to buy a silk web has even been really challenging for a lot of runners, and that's a Yang on the lunar days.
Yep. Probably not going to be the most helpful early on. You need some levels on him to really get going. With those levels, though, very helpful to have in the party. But those punches early game just don't do too much, and even his best tier gear only make him a little more powerful.
Yeah, Yang really needs those levels. He can shine a whole lot later on, especially if you get, we've been seeing a lot of D machine grinding in this event.
Okay.
If you can get him up there through the D machine, then you've got a really solid punch mage who can take Zeromus down handily.
Yep, definitely. There's quite a few good, access to darkness means at any point in time they can do either the 2 darkness grinds, that's the D machine, although you need access to weak, or Mac Giants, which Young and Kane, finding the right equipment, can get through those Mac Giants. They might have a way to get there to those high levels that really turn games on.
Yep, and we're seeing Dekar is heading down Watery Pass, a common loot spot for a lot of people to come in down in here. Good chance to pull some tier 5, sometimes tier 6 items in here. There's an ice brand. That's going to be huge for Kane, as we're getting a look at K value from LUF.
And LUF actually going ahead and doing a bit of looting in here as well. Definitely good. You can find some pretty high tier loot here, and you're walking through anyway. The interesting choice is now, do you reset when you see the boss, or do you walk out? And I think that really depends on what you manage to find.
And Dekar also found a great bow, not huge, but it is an upgrade over for Rosa right away to be able to shoot arrows if we can find some decent ones for these boss fights.
And it looks like we have a Mylon variant hanging out in K value, so that's either Mylon and Friends or Mylon Z. Definitely not something we can take on right now, so we'll have to come back and check that out later, but good information to have.
I might have been tempted to peek that just to see which variant, because that is definitely going to change how you would prepare for that fight.
Yeah, definitely. You've already done the walk down, not too much longer to do the walk around and reset out. I think we also found a Grimlord there in the back of the Watery Pass. That can be really nice to clear out your first boss here, especially if it ends up being one that takes advantage of AoE. So it might be an easy pickup here for Dekar for another character. We'll see.
Yep, and LUF, meanwhile, going to Eblan Castle. This has 3 trap chests, so the loot here is rated a little higher. But you can get in and out within a couple of minutes of and loot the entire thing, even with the traps. So it'll be interesting to see how LUF gets through here.
There's an Eddie, not the most powerful character, although there are a handful of bosses who can make it very easy. But the Dolls is one that can actually take out well by any AoE. In fact, just throwing out the Throw Rager soon.
Yeah, this is an interesting fight to take. You don't get the full round of XP, so
That's true.
You're not going to get like that extra, Cure 2 spell on Rosa. I don't think from this.
Yeah, sure. One of the nice things about coming to Hobbs is, as you said, the XP. It's a pretty good amount of experience for not too much HP to get through. But yeah, this is one of those bosses that just happens to not get the full XP value. But still, it was fast enough. Dekar's going to sit through there, get an extra character. Always nice to just have that extra body or something to throw items, and hey, maybe we'll find some good gear for him.
Yeah, LUF, on the other hand, pulled a Dancing Dagger. Kane is able to use the Dancing Dagger, so that is a good way to get a couple of these early bosses down.
Yeah, definitely does enough damage here early game. Is also one of those weapons that Edward can make good use of to deal damage through up into at least mid-ish game. And Dekar now heading on into Handling Cave. Going to give us our first key item check other than our free Darkness Crystal here.
Yeah, common play for a lot of runners. Hit Hobbs, get that third character, head right down. You're already in the area. It's going to make the XP from Hobbs will typically make it really clean to, wipe this out. Hey, and there's another Dancing Dagger.
Definitely not bad time. Dekar continuing looting, heading into the back here. 3 more chests to check. But yeah, that Dancing Dagger will actually make him probably pretty happy now with that Eddie. So we'll throw that on. The Ice Brand on Kane means he has multiple good sources of damage to get into these early game fights.
Yep, LUF, meanwhile, still working through Eblan Castle, found, I think, 2 of the trap chests.
Definitely saw him just walk away from some of them there, so must know which ones are trapped. more J items. Again, very helpful for those early game bosses. A guide drum also can help you just say one-shot that Dolph's fight if he ends up going up hogs as well.
Yeah, and let's keep in mind too, we are on Sea Hero, so that Rosa does have a solo fight that she's going to have to get through on the top of Ordeals. We got a Lunar Sparkle. Oh, no, bro.
Not a wyvern, just the dopest of ropes.
The dopest of ropes?
Dopest. But sure, if you want dope. But
not utilizing the skill from the Dancing Dagger. That is a spell that can trigger the blaze. So heads up play there for Deckard to not, rush ahead and try and get this down faster. So heads up for him to showing why he is the third seed.
Definitely. Because yeah, with those HP levels that will wipe out almost the rest of his party. So definitely take it safe, just do his attacks here, get through the fight. To reward it with this package. That's interesting. It's another character check, although a pretty time-consuming one. It's not bad to peek it and see who's there, but you really have to want to really need that character to be willing to sit through that time.
Yeah, and with the party members we have, this is definitely looking to be a berserker type seed. So if it's a mage, yeah, the mage is going to help you get through most of the mid game, but you're really hoping for an edge or a Cecil there. Even a Sid would be, kind of nice. I would consider picking that up because that's your Mac Giant grind. You got Kane, Yang, and Sid. You get the right gear, and those three will tear through Mac Giants.
Yep, and they're definitely coming over soon. We'll probably also see a dip into Mist Cave as we do have those boss hunts still at large.
Yep, 3 boss hunts. We're looking for the D-Mist. We're looking for Wyvern. We're looking for King, Queen, Evelyn. All going to provide value for our runners. So not surprised to see this. And hey,
well, we found that Wyvern. We do have the random opening. Not making.
That would have been rude at a couple of other spots.
Definitely. A nice clean. So one objective done here for Deckard. So. Hopefully, LUF will also take that package to send him over towards Mist and find this as well.
Yep, Decker, first runner on the board, objective number 1 lit up. Always good to get the Wyvern out of the way. That's, 1 boss hunt out of the 3 that you've got down, so another white mage.
Another white mage, and I think that's because it's another white mage. Decker doesn't want to sit the time out to get that. If it was maybe his first white mage, a little more interested in doing it, but no. Saber's going fast here and just head right on over to do the bullet defense.
Yeah, we do have the C maybe flag on, so there always is a chance that Porm can show up somewhere else at one of the other checks.
Yeah, that's definitely a really good call. If you sink all that time into the package check going to find the character somewhere else, can feel kind of bad. So you know what? Get that information, put it away for later. If you still need to pick them up, they'll be waiting. It's no problem.
Getting Fabul defense though, we've been seeing a lot of runners not fading Fabul in this event, just because of the power spike with Sea Hero and in the T Pro loot. It's been really interesting to see these early Fabul plays and people choosing not to fade it, trying to hope to get a later package. Also, I can't count how many times we've gotten the Magma Key or the Pan out of the Fabul defense.
Exactly, it definitely feels worth not fading it when you get those rewards. This also is another pretty good XP influx for the early game, although unfortunately another boss here that will be giving full XP.
Yeah, not full XP, but we do have a number of J items that's going to take out these 6 bombs really quickly. I believe Decker has a Gaia Drum just waiting here in the wings here in a second, so it's going to be blink and you miss it.
And LUF does indeed take the package to send him over towards Mist and checking out Mist Cave, so he will be finding his Wyvern as well.
Thor Rage.
Yeah. Thor Rages. They do less damage. We'll take out the gray bombs, but not the orange bombs as we see here. But still, cleaning up still relatively fast. And as you mentioned, at the top of Ordeals, Rosa does have to do that Crystal Room fight solo. It might be really interesting in holding on to some of those stronger J items to make sure she can get through whatever she runs into up there.
Yeah, we found the great bow, but we haven't found really a good stack of arrows for Rosa to be using.
And approaching today, just the spoon is the reward. One tower off is where it should normally be.
The true reward of the Fabul defense was that Aegis shield, though.
Definitely a very, very nice shield to have in this. Ooh, a little bit of diversion or difference here. Luke going ahead and checking out Baron, doing a little bit more looting, and maybe taking on the Baron in fight, which will be a little challenging at this moment.
Yeah, but that rune axe is a nice pickup. That can take care of a number of bosses for LUF. That king can be dealing some decent damage.
Another sparkle here, although we have already found our wyvern, so we're less excited to see that. But also we've faced off against Overpogo, so some of the more scarier ones have already been dealt with.
Yeah, I mean, D-Lunars right here, not that big of a deal. Plague, this is going to be blink and you miss it, I think.
Yeah, very small amount of HP here for this boss location, 400. So you're not too concerned about those counts wearing out.
Yeah, and this is really good going in that second fight. You're not going to be taking any damage. So just got to get this jump, it looks like, and Kane will probably knock Plague out.
Deckard, on the other hand, going up Mount Ordeals, just kind of taking all the different locations and kind of increasing levels. So difficulty spike should not be too high for him.
Ooh, blue robe.
And rewarded, just the Water Hag. Very punchy spot. Might see some characters get downed, but it's luckily quite slow, so we should be able to get the 3 attacks out before the entire party's not in.
Yeah, unless some board face AI just starts taking out the characters in the in their order, but Rose is able to weather a hit, so
yeah, at this point 2 hits out should be safely done. On the other hand, the first boss location is, let's see, Guards or the Officer's Fight for Deckard.
If it's the Baron Guards, that rune axe is going to do some work.
Ooh, that's a nice reward for finishing Baron 8. There's Magnet Key. That's our underground access. We can go to basically all locations in the game now.
Yep, having both moon access, both underground, we can now, the world is our oyster. I know with Ordeals still on the plate, I would like to see LUF dive under. You're going up against a really good runner in Decker. You've got to take some chances. Don't follow the beaten path, which he's already done by coming to Baron in this early. I think you not so much continue the fate of Ordeals, but go underground, get some of that extra loot that's down there, and get that Shield of One, that other Fate March free.
Yeah, definitely. I really like that call up, the idea of, hey, let's go ahead and maybe fade some of the more common checks or do things in a little bit of order and see what information we can get. So you're right, going up against Deckard, that's going to be a hard matchup for sure. And so whatever you think you can do to maybe get at some advantages, that will work out really well for him.
Yeah, and we know with Baron Guards here, LUF doesn't know it obviously, but LUF has the rune axe. That is going to infinitely make this Baron Guards fight so much faster.
Yeah. Also, with that underground access, we do have at least one. I'm not sure if we got 1 or 2 starting sirens, but you can always pop one of those sirens, gain a handful of levels, and then all these earlier boss fights are just that much faster with that power gain.
Absolutely, and that's been something that I've seen a lot of runners do. I do it myself. Get underground, find a means to take out one of those eggs, whether it's the stop spell, a coffin, something like that. Get that infusion of XP. Make your overworld that much easier.
It's stopping for a little bit of shopping here. Definitely found some nice things, both your camping gear, the cabins, and some life pots. The starting 10 don't always go far enough.
No, they don't. But the camping gear is going to be really important if we're going to be making some deep moon dives later on. You want to have that to recoup in between boss fights.
Yeah, definitely. Going down into the moon without camping gear can be very challenging. Both getting your MP back and just healing up after some of those tougher boss fights can be really rough without it.
Yeah, we got some squid here on the bridge, though, in the back attack spot. I don't think either runners have found a Thunderclaw yet, so Decker, not any fear of wiping here, but definitely not going as speedy as you would probably like.
Yeah, exactly. You can see the number of tentacles has dropped, so it's definitely a safe fight for him at this point. But yeah, without being able to take advantage of that lightning weakness, a little slower than I'd like it to be.
Yeah, and that was a great first room for LUF. That was a tiara, a Gaia drum, and what was that first item? It was all
It's a
three of those.
ninja sword.
Ninja sword. That's either money or something good for Edge if he's in the seed.
Yep, and there definitely are still multiple character checks left. In fact, Dwarf Castle is available as one he could do right now that might hold that edge. Yeah, getting him with good equipment is another Berserker, as you're kind of mentioning. Very importantly, Edge could steal those J items we're just not able to buy anymore. Both access to Sirens and even Bacchus Wines in a few locations.
Also, silk webs. There's a number of Zemus fight strats that a silk web just makes things a lot easier. You can steal those from some of the centipedes here in the underground. No need to, though. We just found them.
And nice and easy. Dekar gets reward with the Sand Ruby and the Crystal Ring, so another character, although not really progression through to any of our objectives. Now we can take on Kurabe.
I think Rose has probably got this. Hitting for 200 there with looks like a power staff or silent
power, I believe. Sometimes up to 500. Yeah, I think Rosa will get through this fight. On the side, though, we do find the Adamant, which is definitely a nice find here. Half of our second objective there, the Forge, as well as Rosa can get some pretty decent equipment from finishing the Forge. Another nice thing to be able to do.
Yeah, she can. She'll either get the Perseus bow or Perseus arrows, I believe, and I can't remember if she has a staff as well. But all really good items to help move you through. If we can find a heroine robe, the warrior princess can be online and can clear a number of things.
And we have Liv here going ahead and getting ready, likely to save and check the bosses here in the Fey March, as well as teaching Rydia the very important Leviathan spell, as well as the Sylph spell.
That's an interesting pickup area for Liv. Looking at the party composition we've got now, you may have wanted to wait to see if maybe selling that Leviathan is going to be a little bit more value. Gonna try and take this. Yep. Just checking to see which one.
Yeah, just picking up some information there. And let's say do a little more shopping. Well, Dekar goes in and see who's behind that Sand Ruby. As we're kind of talking about Edge, Edge is only available behind key items, so Sand Ruby is the place we can potentially find him. And sure enough, there he is.
That's a commentator's bless right there.
You're welcome, Dekar. Enjoy your Edge. So this Edge is actually quite big, as we were saying. It provides you an alternate route for grinding. That Siren pickup can be done pretty fast. If you want to have that Berserk party, it's really nice. Just have a handful of Bacchus wines, Silk Web in case Dekar doesn't do the leading and find it. This is a really nice find for you.
Yeah, and it's going to be less of a time commitment too. If you find 10 key items, you only need to pop 5 or 6 Sirens, and your Berserker party's ready to go. So you're not going to be, dropping the time commitment that a D Machine or a Mac Giant's going to be having you do when you're just trying to get some physical fighters up to, getting enough HP to get through a big bang.
Yeah. Also, we did find the spoon. There's a handful of boss locations that maybe you take on early, where just having that spoon lets you clear it out nice and easy when you might not have other ways through it with it. As starting a spoon, going to be doing 6,000 damage even at low levels, up to 9,000 at higher levels on Edge.
Yeah, definitely nice safety measure right there to just clear something out that's really rude. The Dwarf Castle boss, for example, could be wiped out pretty quickly with that, especially if it's something rude like an Asura or, a number of other bosses that could be rude there. We got an evil on the Asura spot, so we don't have to worry about that.
And Liv being able to now do Fool and get Roar 2 items, so if we're doing Fool defense to get the spoon himself, likely. And then visit with Sheila 1 to find out what she's holding.
Yeah, good way to just route this all in. Getting 2 checks knocked out here doesn't have to make, a triple dip, or, so maybe still it needs a double dip, but two checks getting knocked out here for LUF, and then right in the area of ordeals. So going to be able to get through ordeals pretty quickly. I feel like with the rune axe is going to help. We still haven't found the thunderclaw though.
Yeah, and if Rydia gains a handful of levels and is able to start casting that Leviathan, that will also make quick work of a lot of bosses, really up until almost endgame.
Dekar now probably going to be going underground, going to be doing the same loop that LUF just did. We'll see how much looting Dekar does. He's got a pretty strong party right now, especially at that edge. See if he finds that ninja sword and the path to the Feymarch or not.
Yeah, it'd be interesting to feel like if he's already done enough looting or wants to pick up some more, we'll be able to find that or not.
There was also ninja jammies on the path to the Feymarch as well, depending on how much looting Dekar does.
Well, definitely would be some nice gear there to get that ninja online. The short swords he starts with, not the best. You definitely look to be upgrading those if you want to be berserking your range.
Yeah, and while the ninja robe doesn't have any strength on it, the defensive properties, it's the second highest piece of magic defense gear. That's going to make Edge pretty tanky.
It also has the added benefit of freeing up the black belt he has on, so you can hand that down to either your Yang or your King.
Indeed, and that's always good to just share the wealth amongst your team. Let everybody kind of, contribute to the punching.
Definitely, and especially on Yang, black belt, really good piece of equipment for him. Anything you can really find to throw on him, get those plus strength, helps him just punch that much harder.
All right, let's see where Dekar looks like going right to the Feymarch. Wants to get that freebie chest. Going to be rewarded with the adamant once he gets down there. We'll see how much looting he does. Meanwhile, LUF working through the Mom Bomb, getting ready to explode. We'll see if he decides to drop a J item here.
It is still down. Be interested to see if he picks. Oh, yeah, picking Rydia up, trying to get some experience. Rydia level 1, even with the Leviathan summon, not that helpful as she does not have the MP to cast it.
Yeah, and that's a hefty chunk of MP. 50 MP is a lot. She needs a few levels to get to that. I actually don't know if 9 is enough.
I'm unsure. We'll have to see. In the next fight, if we see a wave come out, we know it is. Dekar did some looting on his way through, but definitely didn't do a full clear. If he grabbed those first 2 chests, that would at least has the ninja sword. So probably one of the good things.
He did grab both of those. I don't think he did anything on the bottom floor, but he did grab the ninja sword. So we'll see if maybe he's got the ninja jammies in his inventory here in a sec.
Not seeing them there.
Nope.
But definitely the ninja swords there, and picking up enough money to buy that Leviathan.
Maybe not.
No, maybe not. He's probably just shopping around, see what he'll spend his money on. He only has so much, so check out the armor shop.
Still on the lookout for a curse ring. So that's probably what he was checking for first. See if there's a curse ring here in the Feymarch before dropping that curse ring money for the Leviathan.
Yeah, definitely. Rosa gets a bit fast. Not the fastest character by any means, but fast enough that being able to have that curse ring to fix your agility in various higher end fights where the bosses are very fast is extremely valuable. So yeah, given the choice of Leviathan or curse ring, I can see why he'd like the curse ring.
Yep, and also too, she has a number of things: the heroine robe, Artemis bow, that raises her agility to kind of get to certain breakpoints as well. So a very versatile agility-wise character. She can go either way in terms of speeding her up, slowing her down.
Yep, definitely, and kind of knowing those breakpoints for some important bosses like Zemus. I think most people are aware of the multiples 14, but even some other bosses. If you're finding, say, your Odin, who's giving you problems because he's getting off the Odin cast, knowing what the speed is at whatever boss location he's at can be really helpful to take advantage of all that speed boosting or decreasing gear Rosa can put on. It looks like 9 levels was enough for a Leviathan, guys.
Hey, I was surprised as everybody else.
Likely not enough for 2, so we'll see if we go ahead and rest up in one of those cabins we picked up.
LUF actually bought some tents, so that actually may be,
definitely a little more efficient on money when you don't have big MP pools. You'll still restore 100 MP, enough for this point, where the cabin is a full restore of both HP and MP.
Definitely want to save those cabins for, tower play, the moon plays. So good heads up, that was just the cost of a couple Thor Rages to have those in his pocket.
Yeah. They definitely a little more pricey on those cabins, as well as he cleared out inventory spot. So maybe one less chance of having to run into the dreaded inventory boss.
Yeah, and Octomammoth really knows who's going to take her out, because Octomammoth is really targeting that Rydia.
Smart move there, but the Leviathan cast does still come out, and they should clean up the fight nice and quickly. Dekar has gone down because of Yang, so able to do his Sheila 1. Well, LUF has no problem here getting to his first fight, though the Rosa Crystal room, I'm not sure if he has any of his J items left. I've seen him throwing a few of those out. So it depends on his equipment on Rosa for how fast he can get through that.
Yeah, meanwhile, Dekar already done with his underground loop. Back up here to Sheila 1. So it's going to be getting this tower key. Did LUF grab that? I thought he did.
He was in Kabul. I don't recall him walking to that tower. I could have easily missed it. The tracker does not have tower key lit up.
I'm gonna trust our tracker more than I would. So
it's definitely possible. You're trying to go fast and just forget that check there. I know I've definitely done that multiple times. Hopefully LUF will recognize that and swim back to grab that item. The tower key might hold something valuable behind it. If anything, it gives you that nice incentive to hit tower, because you get the 2 checks done.
And it looks like Dekar's going to be hitting the next level progression spot, between doing the tower, doing dwarf. I would agree with him, maybe do dwarf. But also, Dekar has that edge. So could go steal some sirens and power his party up to take on tower as well.
Yeah. Definitely could pop one of those sirens. You could even pop that siren before coming into dwarf, make sure these boss fights a little faster, and then stock up on his sirens when he's in tower after this. But feeling confident enough that Ninja Sword Edge, if anything, is a pretty good damage source and a pretty decently fit out party here. He feels like he can go ahead and do this Dwarf Castle for his XP influx.
Ooh, this is D Lunar or Pale Dim. Neither of those, I think, spark joy in this spot.
Mm-hmm. Let's see what he has. Not sure how many levels he has on his Rydia.
Yeah, but I don't think Leviathan is strong enough to take out both the D Lunars here. You definitely don't want. Oh, you don't want to do that.
You wouldn't want to do. I saw 30 HP on that Rydia anyway, so I don't think we'll be seeing a Leviathan cast.
Yeah, and smartly swapping weapons for Kain. Kain's wielding some elemental gear right there, so swapping out to get the Rune Axe.
Mm-hmm. Also using the jump and power commands to have to see less of the counter slows.
Interesting thought. Would you throw the spoon here?
No, I would hold on to it. Well, this could be a kind of slow fight. It's not a terribly dangerous fight. I'd like to hold on to the spoon for a fight I think I wouldn't be able to win without checking it out.
Yeah, it really depends on if that mentality is, do you want to go fast? And I think LUF 15 minutes ago may have heard us saying, hey, did LUF check that Sheila? Because that's where he's going right now.
Yeah, good enough. It's definitely good to come back and check that, because we still don't know if that tower key holds something useful. Could be our legend sword. So
all I can say without giving away spoilers is, yeah, maybe you should check the tower. Just saying. May have been a race recently that I may or may not have been involved in where you'll really want to check the tower.
It's not bad, especially when you get the 2 checks done in it. We still have the King Queen Evelyn boss hunt up there, and that's 2 more boss spots to check as well.
And Demas is still lurking. Demas can also have something that's holding us back. Could have that legend sword. We are looking at things. We are a key item or a boss away from go mode.
Yeah, I think I noted right at the beginning of this scene, but that darkness crystal right at the start, immediately made 2 objectives reachable for us. We definitely weren't powerful enough to take them on. But with this edge both of our runners have, if they want to at any point in time now, they could just go ahead and gain the levels they need to get through K value and take on that as an optim.
Also, too, we're sitting at 7 key items. So, depending on what Dwarf and Tower gives us, we could have 10 key items for a Siren Grind.
Yeah. So with those 10 key items, we need a double experience. You really don't need too many Sirens, and you can go ahead and gain the levels. This parry 2 also doesn't need a ton of them. Rosa gets to good HP levels and Cure 4 pretty early. Jan gets a ton of HP, although he appreciates every single level you get on.
Yeah, really all I would be looking for is there's going to be long blades in a shop somewhere for Edge, probably. I'd maybe want to go peeking around some weapon shops for that. And while Kane could use the Ice Brand or the Rune Axe, you might want to maybe find something else for him. But oh, hello!
That's a nice boss here, as second boss in the Dwarf Castle. That's our King Queen Evelyn fight. So objective number 4.
I'm counting that. That's another commentator's bless. We were literally just saying how we needed a boss or a key item.
So close here. So as you're saying, we now are in no mode. We know how we can get to the end of this game. So we just need sufficient power to do so, which we don't have yet. But we know how to get that.
Okay. Key item comes out of here. You're sitting at 8 key items. Do you go up the tower and clear that out, knowing it's a time sink, hoping for 2 more key items? Or do you just go steal Sirens and get your eggs going now?
I feel like 8's too far. If you're at 9, you might be willing to do that. But 8 means even one of those 2 whiff, and it was just a time loss. I think you just go ahead and do the hard grind instead. Hard grind, the longer grind. So you have to steal some extra Sirens, but you kind of know that up front, so you just steal the right amount, come out and just grind through all of those, and just accept you have to do a little bit extra then.
Yeah, I'm trying to do the math in my head. You're going to want about, I think, 12 or 13 Sirens, I think. That's going to be in the 400,000 range, which should be healthy enough to get Jan, Kane, and Edge up to, some healthy health pools, to be strong enough to, berserk your way through.
Speaking of grinding the Sirens here, getting those eggs, we'll go ahead and do that now. So once again, these levels before he starts taking on the underground bosses can definitely pay off here. We saw Dekar did take a while to get through that Pale Dim spot. Extra levels will make that much faster. That also might mean being ready to say do the tower first. Oh, wow. Okay.
Oh!
So Dwarf Castle, very important. That's the Legend Sword, which finishes off our Forge quest. So in fact, we only now have to do one of the 2 boss locations, as well as some access to potentially very good gear. The item we'll get for Rosa, as well as the best shop game.
So you're definitely taking that flavor of Mylon,
not the unknown down at the Mezzanine Open.
Even though you've got to go all the way down there anyway, because we haven't seen the pass.
Mm-hmm. LUF is going up the tower, so again, he did those grinds, gained those levels. Dwarf Castle, you can go to for the experience as well as the bosses and key items. We're going for the experience from the Sirens and going up on the tower for 2 key items to checks. Definitely a really good play. It makes a lot of sense to do. Unfortunately, from what we've seen, probably is not the right move. This seed, but I do like to call these being.
So, interesting thought here. Dekar is at 8 right now. I would be tempted to pull the tower key, because you'll get the crystal. Do your grind, after doing K value.
That's a good point. Being able to just do one of those 2 bosses, going ahead and getting the crystal, and then 1 more item gets you up to 10. Yeah, the crystal is your 10th key item. That definitely speeds up your grind. And Mylon, not the hardest boss in either of his 2 forms.
Yeah, it really depends on which flavor. If it's Mylon Z, you just gotta blink and it's a free fight. So as long as you've got that, it could be long depending on what you got. But we have Fire Claw, I'm sure, a Full Moon right there in Tamra. If Decker were to grab that, to exploit the floating weakness, grab that Heroine Robe and have Rosa do it.
Yep. And you imagine those Perseus arrows she just picked up with. I don't think he has a great bow yet.
We got there was Demas in the Ruby spot.
Yep. Hopefully LUF doesn't find the hook too early and try to go follow that up, because it doesn't look like it'll be too important to see. Although this fight, not terribly risky. It's just Starveil your way through the combat. They're a little slow at this one. Quite a bit of HP.
Yeah, you're going to want to try and get a good chunk of this HP down, because those numbers are ticking fast.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, LUF's got to pick who is going to get this XP, and I don't know if that Starveil will stay up for a second one.
Might, if those numbers are coming in real fast, but yeah, it's definitely something I know I'm always checking in this fight. Do I still have the wall status or not? Which you can check just by going into queuing up some other item. You'll be able to see them.
So it looks like Decker is going to be doing some shopping. Wonder what he's looking for. Probably Curse Ring, possibly.
Might be that Curse Ring. Seeing as he's dipping into only the armor shops, looks like that's the case.
Oh, was able to get the jump off with it for LUF. So Kane was able to dodge that Mega Nuke, so has 3 characters up.
And getting pretty good damage out from his party. Leviathan casts are helping a lot of the damage from the reflected Mega Nukes.
Yeah, I think he's got this. This is 18,000 health, I think. 21,000?
Yeah, 18,000. 18,943, I believe. I have my notes open.
Plumeri Knight, we have not seen Cat Claws yet. They're at least not that I've seen. But they're kind of pricey for our team, and we're kind of strapped for cash a little bit too.
Yeah, we're trying to equip that edge. His good equipment is pretty pricey. There was a defense sword available for Kane, although I don't think Decker bought that. Didn't have the money for it. Though I saw him selling everything. I'm not sure if he did get enough money there to buy it.
Blinky, you missed it. What was the reward for beating Bahamut? I definitely missed it.
I missed it. Tracker, help.
Silent staff. Oh man.
Rough. So not the key item we're hoping to see there.
So again, if Decker just does the half tower, that's going to be huge, because he could just get some sirens, get his party up to where he can clear that, and then Gold Dragon the rest of his grind.
Yep, definitely. So once he has those 10 key items, go ahead and take on some extra Gold Dragons, maybe Warlocks, depending on what he feels like. I'm not sure if he has any Dragon Killing gear. So Warlocks might be a bit faster. But definitely he can do some grind on the moon since he has to do the walk down anyway, and take advantage of those 10 key items.
Yeah, Warlocks is definitely a good option there. I don't think we've seen a Mute Knight for the edge, but we have that Rune Axe for Kane, unless it's been sold. But Kane will be able to, carve through those really quickly.
Yeah, and Rosa throwing the mute out to keep yourself safe. LUF going ahead and knocking down his entire party, so he can do the stealing the sirens faster when Edge is doing overstep there. Much easier to just bank it then and then done.
Yep, he's got he's getting the count. It looks like he's got 5 right now.
Definitely a little further away from those 10 key items, so might pick up more. We'll have to see how many feels like he needs.
It depends on if you're planning to use those sirens for eggs or for stuff on the moon. I think 10. 10's the healthy number.
Yeah. They can also be useful to just bring out the fight, say, to pick up your Silk Web if you still need one, or bring up the Ogre fight in the Cape Magnus to pick up some Bacchus wounds. So you might want to pick up a few extra for those.
There's a curse ring there in that first chest for Decker.
Oh, nice find. And didn't have to go too deep to find his trap chest.
Yep, and now we have dueling siren steals.
looks like Luke was done and going ahead and trying to end the fight here. Unfortunately, did trigger the stun man, but should be able to get through this safely.
Using the kamikaze for Decker to take out 2 party members at once.
The main use of kamikazes.
Especially when you got Yang, he'll take out anybody for you. Oh, Luf finding some Hanzo steel at the top of the tower for his siren.
Very nice. So I do believe this is a different chest than Decker's in, so might have found the better loot here from his trap chest.
Yeah, it'll be really interesting to see if Decker even goes up to the tower key or goes all the way to the top.
Luke is on his way out of the tower, so we'll see if the tower key is actually going to reward us with a key item.
Maybe the runners will high five, at least be on the same floor. There we go, high five, hey! It counts. It's canon in my head.
No, this is definitely close enough for a high five. It's good.
There's only like 3 walls in between them. It still works.
It's a 5. 5 is when there's too many. And it is a key item, the Luke key. So that could be nice for Decker to pick up to get towards those 10 key items. Although he's stealing quite a few sirens here, so it might be the plan to just go over the ground.
Yeah, meanwhile, Luf making the right play here. Coming to Dwarf Castle, going to be getting his go mode.
Great to see. Ooh, that edge is now very nicely equipped.
Oh, yeah.
He should be able to get through this pale dam very quickly.
Yeah, Luf's got to be feeling pretty good about his setup, I feel like. If it depends on if Decker goes and gets that 10th key item or not. Because Luf will have the ability to get 10. If he can get through that Mylon. And Luf knows it's a Mylon fight.
True, he peeked it, so he knows what's up there. He knows something he can get through without too much trouble, get those 10 key items, and make that grind that much faster. So this means Decker still stealing sirens, so I'm imagining we'll see walking right back out of tower after this and start grinding some eggs.
Yeah, that where was that full moon that we just saw? There was
Tomra.
Oh, Tomra, yeah. So
Maybe.
It'll be interesting. I think you're right. So it'll be interesting if Luf goes to Tomra and recognizes, hey, maybe pick up that full moon.
Yeah, exactly. So although he didn't actually pick which Mylon variant it is.
I'd say prepare for both.
Yeah, exactly. Being ready to take on both. The nice thing, Mylon and Friends is Lightning 1 is not that scary, really, at any location. The punch might hurt, but there's not that many punches.
Yeah, the punch will hurt, and that's a pretty speedy spot as well. So, Blink will take care of that, though. We have Rosa, who can get a couple blinks up. Leviathan will clear all the zombies.
Yep, exactly. So, yeah, with that full moon, in case it's a Mylon Z variant, take advantage of the fact he's, despite doesn't look like it, is floating, so you do extra damage with those air-type weapons and spears. Or has good, as you were kind of, good tech to take on the Mylon and Friends mate.
So we've got Decker still stealing.
That's a lot of
I don't know how many he's up to.
I believe a lot.
A lot is a good number to have.
Yeah, you don't want to run out of sirens when you're in the middle of your grind. So if you have a lot, you should be fine. I'm sure he has a number in his mind he's aiming for, and so he's just stealing right up to that, and we'll be exiting out of here. It is also interesting if he's planning to use those to grab anything else, like pop a siren to get the silk web. I'm not sure if he's found one of those. We saw Luke find one, but as well as, is he going to try to get Bacchus Wines? Maybe he has Rosa cast Berserk, but you do have 3 characters you'd want Berserk up, so having access to Bacchus Wines can help for that.
Yeah, I would agree. I would definitely be walking in because Luf knows where those trap chests are. Doesn't know which one's which, but knows where they are. Yeah. Decker would have to do some extra looting to find them.
And Luke here getting the news that this is where the King and Queen Evelyn are hiding out, and we'll shortly be getting the news the Legend Sword is also here, and will then realize, All right, I'm in no mode. What do I do? How do I level up?
Yeah, I really want LUF to recognize the 10 key item potential. That's going to really speed up his levels, his grind, compared to if Dekar only, only has 9.
Yeah, definitely. Dekar is done, is stealing here, getting an elven bow. Not great, but actually might be the best bow we found so far. So
it is. That's a huge upgrade.
Yeah. Elven bow, kind of that first tier of this is a good bow. This is what I'm willing to use. And I believe it's the Perseus arrows, not the bow that we got from the forge. So that could be some pretty decent damage from Rosa as well. Although I don't believe he brought that Herald rope, which really helps archery Rosa. And there we have the Legend Sword behind the inventory bonus. Did you catch the number of sirens then?
I missed it.
All right, catch that on the next one. So we'll come in here, going to complete his forge as well, finishing off objective number 3, and likely we'll see some shopping as well. He's done a fair amount of looting, might be able to sell and get, say, that defense sword for game.
Yeah, and that's interesting. Dekar is using Leviathan to kill these eggs. While it's effective, Iridia is kind of slow. You really want that edge to be able to, take these out.
Not get that Hanzo steal though, so maybe not feeling confident enough that Edge could do the damage. And thank you, Reckless Charlie. Tracker, very good eyes. 24 sirens left in the inventory. That's a lot of sirens.
That's more than enough, that's for sure.
Definitely. 20 sirens will get you a lot of experience even without 10 key items. It'll be interesting if he actually goes through the entire pile, or if he has some backups maybe.
Ooh, LUF almost walked out without picking up the forge item, but did remember, walk back. Also picked up the defense sword for Kayn.
Hey, great. Kayn will be able to do some good damage. Maybe, as we just saw Dekar there, be able to jump to kill off these eggs before they hatch with that strong whip.
LUF is heading to the moon.
I think exactly what you were saying. I think he's realized is I can get 10 key items. I can make this grind fast. Plus, R8 has stolen his sirens, has 8, so would feel much more comfortable with doing this grind at 10 key items, so he doesn't have to risk running those sirens.
Yeah, so this will be good for LUF. If he can get through this Mylon fight, depending on which flavor it is, we'll have 10 key items. Can do dragons, can do behemoths, can do warlocks. The world is LUF's oyster in terms of grind. Yeah,
any of those, whichever he feels he can take out fastest, and we'll definitely get him enough experience to then take on some rooms. So I think we'll just have to see which Mylon flavor he has in here and how quickly he can get through it.
While we're cracking eggs, while we're walking this Mylon fight, I do want to thank our restreamer Smake D, rolled this fine seed for us to be commentating on. Our tracker, Reckless Charlie, keeping us honest up here in the booth. iCloffer, thank you for co-commentating with me as well. If you haven't done so, please give the Restream team a follow. Also, give our runners a follow. They've been putting on an excellent race for us here tonight. This is really a close race. It's coming down to grind efficiency. So please make sure you're giving the runners a follow as well. Show them some love.
And it turns out it is our Mylon Z hanging out here. I believe we do have access to the Fire Claw to take advantage of extra damage. There definitely has been some fire equipment that Kayn also picked up. Flame Spear, I believe, but that might have been sold already. So we kind of
I believe it. Kayn. I believe it was. So I think we're just going to be seeing Defense Sword Kayn here.
Which still does a good chunk of damage. This might be the time to check out your spoon while you have it. It's your last kind of fight before your grind, so being able to get some extra damage.
Yeah, got to get Rose up, though. She needs to be getting some blinks up to kind of help mitigate the punchiness of this. That was an 1,800 damage hit to a back row, Rosa.
Yeah, that is hard hits. You definitely need to get these blinks up to be able to get through the fight. Although the good news is the attacks are only hitting 1% at a time, and you will have 5 characters throwing at those life bots. We did buy a nice big pile of them, so we can do this for a little bit.
Yeah, I think it's going to be a little slow for LUF, but this is going to be better for him in the long run. While Dekar's going to come in here and probably just, smash this Violent Z fight, LUF is going to have a much shorter grind.
That's good to see the blink cast done now on Rosa, so she will not be getting knocked down quite as quickly, which means she's now set to blink every. Oh, the Mylon Z, a good targeting there, going right for that blink cast.
Yeah, Mylon's like, I know how this blink game works.
AI too smart on this one.
Yeah, I think.
Oh, go ahead.
I was gonna say, I wonder if Edge is high enough to have image. I don't know. I can't remember what level he was.
Not see that, as well as I didn't see any maybe pickups of illusions, or definitely not a Moonveil. That'd be a real nice idea to this fight.
Oh yeah, Moonveil makes this fight real free. I think if LUF can get a Berserk up on that Yang, and let Yang do some work with the Fireclaw.
Yeah, definitely. I think you would like to get a lot of blinks out before doing that, just to make sure the attacks aren't knocking anyone down. But once you get that Berserk going, yeah, his damage levels will be quite good to be able to get through that one.
Meanwhile, we do have Dekar still smashing eggs. I believe his Edge is now able to take these eggs out, so definitely speeding things up a little bit.
Yep.
Oh, it looks like Kane doing jumps is doing the work now.
Yep. Nice with Kane in that center slot. We'll get that first turn, just give the jump and wait. Level's starting to look pretty good. We have Rosa almost up to 2,000 HP, so we might be trying to get that 2,200 breakpoint where Rosa starts to become really safe even against unnerved big things.
Yeah, I'm kind of hoping Dekar is not taking that Rydia to nuke. He's in the low 40s right now.
Yeah, it takes a lot of experience to get up to nuke. The pile of sirens we saw might indicate that's what he's trying to do. It definitely makes the next, the Violent Z fight. He doesn't know what fight is there, so he might think he needs that extra power. It does help against Zemus too. He can go in for those hybrid strats. And so potentially with the extra damage coming out, might be able to buy it, not even ever have to see a full strength big bang.
LUF is through though. LUF is going to get 10 key items, and we'll see what his flavor of grind is going to go.
As well as an app. Not too bad. Maybe feed that to Rosa, get her into low safe HP. LUF is our first one here with the crystal. First one in go mode.
Yep, already on the moon. Just needs to get a grind going. Let's see what he feels comfortable doing. Is he going to do dragons? He's going to do warlocks.
Yeah, and with those 10 key items, twice the spats. And as we'll see, Dekar is taking a very brave time on this grind because there was both the long time to pick up all of those sirens, stealing all of them does take some time, and then the time to go through all this grind. So it'll be really interesting to see who finishes this grind first.
And looks like LUF is going back and going to be cracking eggs.
All right, it's definitely the safer grind compared to any of those. You can go ahead and go dragons, but without access to hourglasses because we're not making items. Those dragons can be a little scary. The warlocks, if you're not very fast on your mute cast, they throw out some mean spells. So a nice safe egg grind, getting the double experience.
It'll really depend on what level LUF is comfortable getting to with this party.
Yeah, exactly. What is he aiming for here? So 8 sirens with this double XP, effectively doing 16 equivalent sirens to Dekar. Means he will not be as high level as Dekar together this. We could also even see maybe a hybrid grind, crack a few eggs to get levels to say maybe feel more comfortable taking on warlocks or gold dragons.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see. Wasn't feeling comfortable with that Murasame Ninja Edge doing short by about 50 damage.
But this next hit should take down the dragon.
Yeah, but it may. Yo, oh, my 10 HP.
Oof. Radiant will unfortunately miss out on this XP. If Luke isn't planning to go for nukes, he might not be too worried about that. Maybe he isn't caring too much about those levels on Radiant.
Oh, and look, Edge just got imaged. So that answered my question earlier, whether or not he did.
Yeah. But that one crack bags might be enough now that Luke will feel comfortable to just go with Ninja here for the attack.
Oh, surprised by an egg.
Surprise and those back attacks. They do happen somehow. Especially surprising with the Siren. You called the egg to you.
You're just surprised that it was an egg, maybe?
Yeah, to be fair, that is surprising for an egg to just walk up to you. They shouldn't be able to do that.
Cluffer, I'm pretty sure it didn't walk right up. It rolled.
Oh. Oh, okay. In that case, totally reasonable. Eggs do that all the time.
Especially when they're about to hatch just from one little hit. Imagine that conversation with the party. It's like, okay, we want to take a fight. We need to get some more experience here. You know, why, you know, they're sitting there thinking they need experience, you know, for something. It's like, and they're like, we found this siren. Let's see what it does. I think it calls something. And you're looking around. What the hell's an egg doing here?
Really big egg. Maybe we should hit it.
Yes.
I mean, just hitting it seems to work for everything else they've encountered up to this point. Deckard is finished his grind and is going to use one of those sirens to grab his silk web and then immediately book it out of that fight.
That's a good call. He did not find the same silk web that LUF did. That's going to make the Zemus fight with this Berserker party a lot easier. So good heads up play by Deckard.
And now, is he going to pick up those Bacchus as well? That very much
is
be the case.
That is definitely the case. So Decker going to be taking a little bit more time, but it's going to help him with this Zemus fight, make that a lot smoother. It's also going to give LUF time to get through his grind. So we'll see if LUF also is going to go get some Bacchus wins.
Yep. Or if he'll feel comfortable with the party he has and just go straight for Zemus. LUF could potentially get those a little faster, so you know that he does know where the trap chests are, so a little less time for him to find this versus Decker, who has to go through doing all his looting here.
Edge not consistently hitting that 1800 damage mark. So relying on 2 hits to get through these. Oh, and hey, Decker found the Matagors on the first one.
First chest, not bad. Yeah, not too scary to have to do it in 2 hits, as you won't have to see any counters, but definitely slow. That hatch animation takes time.
This is LUF's last siren, so we'll see if he decides to go get more, or you know where he's going to go from here. His levels are good. Rose is over 2,000 HP.
He's good. So is it Bacchus Wines or Z? And has access to that apple, so gets even more comfortable HP levels. Checking out his agility here situation. So
Ooh.
23. It's not the best number.
That does not spark joy. Good call. He's going to Tamra.
Very nice.
Now that's gonna hurt the healing aspect of this fight.
Yep. Oh, okay. I might be looking for the. So there's the heroine route there to go to a higher agility anchor point, but he might be looking for that curse ring. Going back in. All right.
Yeah, he's like, oh man, do I want to go hunting for a curse ring somewhere else? And
I mean, that's challenge. You know where the heroine rope is. Yeah, you prefer probably having the curse ring, but you know where this one is, so you just take it or not. Yeah, it's definitely a hard decision to make.
Yeah, especially with Berserk strats, you are relying on getting those heals up. So while Rose is going to be faster to have more actions in the Zemus fight, he is. Is he gonna find it? Oh, is he gonna find it?
Wow. Well, I think he might have come back in here for more sirens, might have been the thought there. Being like, well, if I can't curse Rosa, I'll just get her up to 28 agility. But you know what? This works too. Let's just get that curse ring and get out. Does want the box swines as well.
I don't blame him. I think this Bacchus swines are going to make this a whole lot more smooth. So definitely a good idea.
Technic has picked up his Bacchus swines and is back in Tomra, grabbing, I'm not too sure, more ninja weapons.
Ninja weapons? Yeah, I think there's another ninja sword here. It doesn't have that Murasame.
That's correct.
Oh, and pulled a crystal sword from the Mad Ogre chest. Oh, wanted the silent staff instead.
Okay. As you were kind of noting, those heals are going to be important, and with that curse ring on Rosa, you've gone ahead and dropped down her level of healing, so the silent staff won't counteract that stat loss.
Oh, but I think a Murasame is here, so it may just be going to Gokul for that.
Nope. Defense. It's just too much good items and not enough money to buy them all.
All right.
Yeah. This is looking really close. Deckard is, yes, heading to the moon, but he hasn't done Cape Value yet. He still needs to finish that. Where Luke just is getting his Bacchus and is probably ready to head down to Z.
Yeah, this is good. These two are going to be doing their Z fight back to back.
It is close. This is really, really close.
This is going to come down to how well can you do this Berserker C fight with a cursed white mage. I would.
Oh, good.
I was going to say, we saw Asura for sale somewhere. I don't know if our runners remember where. I don't. But that might be a good pickup for this.
That's true. So the healing duties not having to go all to Rosa, Meridia being able to share some of those, definitely helps with Rosa being cursed. I don't believe Luke has any strong staff either. He didn't pick up that silence. So.
Schmapty, I barely got through it one time. There's no way I'm doing it 5 times.
I'm not going to even try that one.
Three streamers got jokes, y'all.
Finding out it's just a Mylon Z up here, and with his levels and access to things like Fire 3, we'll definitely get through this fast.
And Lou says, I'm done. I'm ready. Let's go.
Big old pile of Bacchus swines here. Let's go. His Zerkers are definitely set up to be able to do a lot of damage. I think just as you kind of noted, his healing situation is going to be a little tricky. Good equipment on both Edge and Kane, and Yang has the levels he needs to do damage.
Yeah, so I think this is Luke's race to lose right now. He's going to be in the Zeromus fight first. They have the same party. They're going to be using the same strategy. So if Luke goes in and knocks this out of the park, I think it's his race to lose. If he wipes though, then it's going to be Decker's.
Yeah. And it is risky. He has definitely the damage levels and the HP levels, but that healing is a little risky, especially so full strength big bangs into maybe the virus or immediate meteor casts could be risky.
Yeah, and Decker's maybe 80 seconds behind him.
Yeah. And Decker does have those better levels, having, as chat was noting, going all the way up to Nuke on Meridia, which also just gives him additional damage output, which helps him get through the fight that much faster, which means that many fewer full-strength big bangs you have to deal with. Oh, yeah.
This is so close.
This is a very close race. It's a nail biter.
Yeah, like I said, it looks like 80 seconds roughly. Decker's behind, so it is all up on Loof to knock this out of the park in one go. And this is
exactly. I think Decker can potentially get through the fight a little faster, but not probably a full 80 seconds faster. So it's really probably going to be if there's a wipe or not. Yes, as Reckless Charlie's knowing, this is tournament bracket level play. Everyone who's made it into the brackets here is an extremely good runner. The free enterprise community has got very competitive, so getting in the top 64 is a sign of already very good high-level play, and I think we're seeing that from both these runners in this race.
Yeah, and around this time, as we're making the walk down into LST, we have a question, that we'd like to ask the community. We got Zemus. He is going to be the final boss. He's too big, too powerful, too ugly. We can't randomize him anywhere else. Clawford, you want to do the honors though tonight?
Is this in reference to the Z flags we're seeing coming up in chat?
Yes, I believe so.
The Napton ones?
Yes, those are my favorite flags.
Yes, all right. I think I will go ahead and take a nap. Or is that not what you were getting at?
Oh no, that's definitely what I was getting at. I am all for getting a nap. We're gonna need somebody in here to talk through the Z fight while Clawford and I take a nap.
Yeah, commentators out. Enjoy chat. You're on your own. All right. What we actually have here, as noted, is this is going to be Zemus, but this is because he is always going to be found at this location. But this is a randomizer. We need to randomize, so he gets a brand new spray, which leads us to the question of whose butt are we going to kick tonight?
Oh, there's so many good ones.
Yeah. I'm always excited to see this. It's the really nice payoff. And you have that hard seed, you work your way through, you're like, all right, at least let me see a nice, really cool spray. And you know what? You're always rewarded. They're all awesome.
That's the thing. So, like, you're running a race like this. You got the berserkers lined up. Are you hoping for something that you don't like, to really take the frustration of the seed out?
I can't say I like all of them. They're just all so good.
Yeah, if you get a cute one though, do you want to hold back a little bit? It's like I don't feel so good about it.
Yeah. We'll put on some weaker weapons. It's okay. We maybe don't need these ninja swords. Short swords are fine. All right. Decker got down here quite quickly. I think LUF did a little bit of item management before entering the fight, a little bit more equipment, which has let Decker catch up. This is getting really close now because, as I mentioned, Decker being a little stronger can also probably just get through the fight a bit faster. He might be able to pull this off now with the extra damage.
Definitely a cute butt right here.
Oh, the animals. I love this one. This is awesome.
This is such a good spray. Scala did great.
Scala, this is amazing work as always. I love this one.
All of the butts available.
Not just one butt to kick tonight. All of them.
All right, we've got the counter nuke. The silk web is up. Let's see if we got 2 people berserked. 3 people berserked.
Well, Edge dishing out almost 4,000 damage with his hit. Yang for 2,000. When you're doing 6,000 damage round, that's really good damage levels, saying you have to get through the boss quite quickly.
There's the first shake. First big bang is going to be nerfed due to that silk web. So we're seeing about 7,000 once we see Kane do a hit. Yeah, about 7,000, between 7,000 and 8,000 around.
Yeah, definitely really good damage numbers. The cure on this big bang, not too problematic as it is nerfed, so it's not too hard to get through. Is he doing enough damage? You might not see a full strength big bang.
I don't know. Typically when I'm doing Zerker strats, I'm a hope and a prayer.
And is going for a little bit of hybrid here on the side. Going to go ahead and get ready to check out those S3s. I just did see a dart from Deckard's side, which I believe is the spoon throw note.
Yeah, that's got to be the spoon throw. I don't know if LUF did or not with Edge being zerked up so quickly.
So that's another good chunk of damage to get out fast. That's multiple swings worth from Edge. So getting that out is just, again, maybe shaves that extra second or two Deckard needs to from coming in the fight just a little behind. This is going to be a close one, whatever happens.
Yeah, we're getting reflected level 3 spells from LUF, and I don't know if we've got reflected nukes for Decker.
Looks like we're just circling up the entire party here.
All right, looks like we're waiting to see if this is a big bang. I don't know about you, chat. I am on the edge of my seat.
Yeah, this is too dense.
Is it a TP or a wigwam?
Sorry, too intense. I can't recognize the puns.
I think LUF is probably in phase 2.
Mm-hmm. All right, going for a direct slow cast, so trying to nerf again. I guess he is scared about those healing at levels he has, so doesn't want to eat a full strength Big Bang.
I don't know if that's nerf though.
Looks like he got it.
Oh, he did? Wow. And Rydia lived as well.
Oh, wow.
Now can we get Rosa to keep that cane up so he can keep swinging?
Yeah. On the other side, though, Dekar has been able to just keep on swinging. Hasn't had to watch his main animation. Oh, Rock's here, though. Oh, we're getting close.
Oh,
wow.
Oh, that high roll on edge.
No, he's still up.
Oh, and he was going for the single cast for Kane.
I've seen a shake.
Got it though.
You have it.
Get your GGs in chat for
Get
LUF.
those GGs, well earned GGs there. That's excellent.
At 1 hour, 13 minutes, 38 seconds, LUF takes game 1 from Dekar, and we will see about getting LUF in here for an interview. Got it. And we are joined by LUF. GG's.
Thank you, and thanks everyone. Wow, I was not expecting to win that. Wow, I'm still kind of nervous after that run. I mean, Dekar's such a good player, and also I was always expecting, a done on his side any moment when I was in the Z fight, but still managed to get it. Wow.
Yeah, it was getting really close there at the end. How are you feeling once those rocks started coming down?
Well, to be honest, actually shouted at my significant other. I told him, hey, I might get this very, very loud. So yeah, I'm very excited to actually have managed to actually get that one. I mean, I'm seeing number 60, and Dekar is such a good player, and I'll actually manage to win some ladder for season 2. So we all know him, we all know how good he is. So I was kind of expecting, a David versus... No. David versus Goliath is not the right one. A Tia versus Dekar fight. But, actually managed to pull one off.
Yep, definitely, you had really excellent play through this entire seed. So very, very well done on there. It was really close. We were pretty much for the last 20 minutes of the seed. We had no idea who was going to pull this off, as you and Dekar were doing slightly different things, but really had clear shots and getting to the end right around the same time. So it was an amazing watch. Thanks for putting on such a good race here.
Well, thanks. I really can't wait to actually watch this. I think is what about. I can say it now that he's actually done. He's actually only 2 minutes away from me, so that was very close.
Very, and it really came down to your guys' grinds. I don't know how much you and Dekar got to talk after your race concluded. You got 10 key items before you started your grind. Dekar did not get 10 key items, didn't do the tower at all like you did. So did, I think, 20 some sirens, whereas you only did 8. So take us through that a little bit. Why were you just more comfortable with the egg grind, not wanting to do like a warlocks or gold dragons? What was your reason behind the egg grind choice?
Well, the moment actually saw Edge in where was he again? I don't even remember. Oh yeah, it was beyond the Sand Ruby. So actually, when I saw Edge, I was okay. Egg's actually an option, and the moment I actually got the tower key, I was like, okay, there I've got 2 key items. I might be able to get what I need for Coco. So I was like, might as well get some more eggs on the way, just in case. And when I saw I was actually at 9 eggs, I was okay. I just need to do that Milan fight. I knew it was gonna be, I wouldn't say easy, but I kind of have a lot of experience at Milan at that place, so I was pretty much comfortable to actually get the crystal, come back with the eggs. I knew I would have actually I would actually miss maybe 1 or 2 eggs, but actually, I'm actually missing 1 or 2, so I go back into the tower, and guess what? I find the cursed ring. It was okay, no need for eggs anymore. So that's pretty much how it came to be.
Excellent. Yeah, we were wondering, seeing you dip back into the tower and seeing, was that since going for more sirens? And then sure enough, you went to the left side first, and we had seen that curse ring from Dekar's stream, and we're wondering if that would change your plan, and it did. And it was just great to see that pulled off, because it looked like you'd been shopping too for a curse ring. Was that the idea?
I was actually shopping for a cursed ring, or maybe a ninja hat, or anything that would actually give me some chance to pull out that fight more easily. I've been wiping a lot, taking a lot of risk into my Z fights in practice, so I wasn't that confident, I was going more for the safe play, especially since I was not actually eliminated. I was actually not losing that seed yet, so I went for the safe bet, and I got lucky there with the cursed ring.
Speaking of kind of risky plays, thinking about that fight early, were you also doing some, maybe your routing? Was that planned riskiness? We saw you go to Baron in kind of early, where a lot of other runners may do for Bool or Heals. Is that your normal routing, or were you trying to take risks as a way to maybe jump ahead of Dekar?
To be honest, that was pretty much improvisation on my part. I was going, I might as well check whoever's the character. I mean, I was very close. I went to the Mist Cave and got lucky there, saw the Wyvern. So I was actually right next to it. So I told myself, hey, might as well check if I've got an easy fight or not. And worst case scenario, I'll simply reset out of it. And I see the fight, and I was, oh yeah, that's not gonna be hard. So, yay!
Well, it definitely paid off for you. You ran a really excellent race. Coming in, you're ranked 60, going up against the number 3, very daunting. But it doesn't look like you had the nerves hitting you or anything like that, because you ran really clean race.
Well, it's actually very easy to be a chameleon when you're not actually streaming your face. And now I was a nervous wreck the whole time. Did so many mistakes, like forgetting to actually talk to Shala after all the mistakes actually do what I actually wrecking totally my run. I actually did them. So yeah, I was actually very nervous, but I guess actually practice enough so I could still manage to get through what the seed said me.
Sorry, what was the question again?
It wasn't a question, just an
gotcha.
overall comment about how nervous I was.
Well, that's all I have for Luke. Do you have anything else, Klopfer?
Nope, I got my questions in. But Luke, anything else you want to talk about the seed? Anything we didn't ask you about you want to touch on?
Sorry, can you repeat that again?
Sure.
I didn't.
Just anything about the seed we didn't ask you about that you want to talk about?
No, that's pretty much it. Right. That said, thanks a lot for the restream, the whole restream team. You're awesome. Thanks for all the hard work you do. It's very appreciated.
big thanks to you for putting on such a great race. This was a really exciting one. I know I had a lot of fun watching it and getting to talk about it. I hope you go back and watch it and just see what a good race it was, and just really your play in here was excellent. And so I'll be really excited to see your second race here against Dick.
Thanks, and I hope I'll be able to do as good as that one.
Thank you. GG's again, Luf. We'll look forward to seeing you again.
Bye.
That was our winner of this race, Luf. GG's him again. We will see about getting Dekar in here for an interview. And with that ding, we are joined by DekarSMASH. GG's to you. How are you feeling about that one?
I'm feeling pretty good. Disappointing not to win, but I thought I played really well up to the point of getting go mode. And after that, it was kind of a decision of just how safe do you want to play it. And I tried to play it very safe. I'll have to watch back and see what approach LUF took, but my guess is he was a little more aggressive in there, and it paid off.
I was going to say, it really just came down to one extra check. The tower key had one more key item. So LUF held off on his grind until he got 10 key items. He did tower before dwarf. And so his grind was just a little bit shorter than yours, I think. Otherwise, you guys were neck and neck this entire race.
Okay, that's cool. So did he also get the crystal before he grinded then?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
It also actually peaked K value right at the early on that first go up to the moon, which you guys pretty much did in parallel. So he knew he only had a Mylon up there, so he was reasonably confident to take it on, even with those lower levels, and get those 10 key items before doing the grind.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. Not knowing who that boss was, I didn't want to make the trip up there again in order to find something rude and have to bounce off it. And I also didn't want to bet on tower delivering me 2 out of 2 key items. So it just seemed a little speculative to try to get to 10. But I could definitely see that being a gamble that could pay off.
Well, it was the right call to not assume 2, because it was a 1-1. I believe it was a silent staff from the top of tower. It just so happened that crystal being the 10th key item is, what pushed LUF over, I think.
Well, I would have taken a silent staff. I had to make an additional trip to Tamra just to buy that.
For sure. When you went in and started, I guess, stealing those sirens, did you have that number in mind from the start? What were you thinking there with your grinding strategy?
I was thinking it's probably not worth taking Rydia all the way to nuke, but I want to make sure I get Rosa to 2400 because I don't have confidence in her ability to survive big bangs that are not nerfed when she is wearing a cursed ring. And I also didn't really feel good about recovering if she went down.
Yeah, it looked like you and LUF both had that same concern. You were definitely trying to protect that Rosa as much as possible. LUF was looking for a couple pieces of gear as well to kind of bolster that curse ring as well. Just with the same kind of mentality of this could go sideways real fast.
Yep. Overall, I would say it's a pretty straightforward seed unless you don't do the Mist Cave check, which is you're obviously going to do when you find the package, or you don't go to Dwarf, which I did briefly consider sort of just going into face check mode, for the King Queen, running up to the moon, just checking all the spots. But having one piece of the Forge makes that play a little more questionable, I think.
Well, it definitely worked out for you both. You both were thinking the same thing, try and get those checks done. And it was, like I said, an hour 15 on this flag set is still a fantastic time.
Yeah, I think, it was obviously a good race tonight. And I told LUF that I thought it would be a good match overall. And so far, so good on that front.
Any changes for game 2?
I don't think so. You know, I will probably go back and watch this video, and maybe something will occur to me, and maybe I won't play it quite as safe. But you know, I think it was probably the right move that we both made, playing it kind of safe with that party and not very well equipped. You know, Rose's resources were really going to be strained trying to heal and anchor and, you know, berserk if you didn't steal Bacchus wine. So I think it was the right move. It's just LUF was just a little faster with that 10th key in play.
Definitely makes a lot of sense. Your play was very, you know, I think to no one's surprise, extremely good through this entire seed. And you're right, just those small differences resulted in just that 2-man difference. So I think sticking to your plan makes a lot of sense, and I'll definitely be excited to see this second race and see how things turn out.
Me too. Looking forward to it.
GG's again. Looking forward to seeing your game 2. You've been killing it on the qualifiers and all this. So well done. Definitely looking forward to seeing you embrace a lot more.
Yep. Thanks for doing all the restream stuff and the commentary. It's really fun to watch, and I'm glad I can sort of help out in providing the stuff for you to talk about.
We appreciate you volunteering. And GG's once again.
GG.
Thanks again. Big thanks to both our runners for bringing on such a great race for us tonight. Do make sure to follow their streams for more good racing, I'm sure, from them. As well as, again, a big thanks to the entire Restream team. We wouldn't be able to put on this show without them. So again, it's Smithy here doing our Restream. A Reckless Charlie here doing all the tracking. Very helpful, both on the icons and in chat there for us. Thank you, Reckless Charlie. And a big thanks to Big Karma for joining me here on the commentary booth. It was a lot of fun.
And thank you, Klopfer. And it looks like we're taking you guys over to RPG Valkyries. Dravenheart is a big community member for Free Enterprise playing Final Fantasy IV Pixel Remaster. Just came out today. So we're going to go over there, give the RPG Valkyries some of this love, and continue some of this FF4 action. So again, thank you, everybody else, as Klopfer was saying. And we'll see everybody over there.
Rosa!